Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the American League 1987 replay. We are still on May the 6th, game number 181 in total. And it's the Minnesota Twins and the Baltimore Orioles from the Metrodome in Minnesota. Starting pitcher is Blyleven on the mound for the Twins, and lefty Scott McGregor will toe the slab for the Orioles. Orioles coming to the game 11-14, Twins 10-15. Look at the ballpark effects. Homer Dome very friendly. Singles 1-16 for lefties, 1-13 for righties. Home runs 1-11 for both. Look at our records of the pitchers. We'll get to McGregor in the bottom of the first, but in the top of the first, Blyleven enters the game 3-3. However, he does have trouble holding runners on. He's a +2, and the catcher Nieto is a +2 for a +4. But other than maybe Alan Wiggins, I don't think there'd be a lot of running by the Orioles. Wild pitch for Blyleven's a 10, balks a 0. And like I said, we'll deal with McGregor when we get to the bottom of the first. So right now, Bert Blyleven finishing up the warm-up tosses. And we'll get the full numbers on Blyleven as I go to the Strat-O-Matic computer. We just have generic dice today. Nothing fancy. So Blyleven in toto is 3-3, but his ERA is 6.10. He was 4.01 in real world, so he's two full runs ahead of that. 41 innings pitched, 35 hits, 23 walks, and 37 strikeouts. He has given up 8 home runs already in 41 innings. He gave up 46 home runs in 267 innings real world. So the gopher ball did give him problems. Hello, JC. Good to see you. All right, so we're looking at Alan Wiggins, who's having some serious problems. He is hitting 195 on the replay, a homer and 7 driven in. He hit 232 real world. Does have 7 steals, but you got to get on base to steal. You can't steal first base. That's the old adage. That's a 6-7 switch hitter batting left, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Lombardozzi. He's a 2E18. So a 2E18, 2 and a 4. Ooh, that might sneak through right off the bat. 2 and a 4. 2 and a, no, actually it's a G3, so it's good enough. He'll get to it. He's an E18, so he has to avoid 13, 3, and 18. That should be simplistic enough, you would think. That 13, though, is troublesome. But we get a 6, so it's no problems. Lombardozzi will make the play. And Wiggins is retired to start the ball game as his offensive woes continue, and the Oriole leadoff woes continue as well. They just can't find a good leadoff hitter. All right, here's Jim Washer and Dwyer, the designated hitter. He is tearing it up, hitting 441 in 34 at bats. He hit 274 real world. 4 homers and 9 driven in. 5-4, and that's an in-home run chance right here. He has the normal power. Gopher ball city for Bert Blyleven. He's been known to give him up, and he did it again. That's the 9th home run in 42 innings for Bert Blyleven. And for Jim Dwyer, that is home run number 5. RBI number 10 on the season, and the Orioles lead it 1-0. Straight up, didn't need a D20 at all. 5-4 is the end home run. And of course, Dwyer has normal power, and that's all it took. So the Birds are on the board 1-0. And that'll send up Cal Ripken, shortstop. Ripken on the replay is hitting 257, 4 homers, and 13 driven in. 4-6, and that's a walk. So base on balls, first base on balls issued by Blyleven. Ripken will not try to get any kind of a jump or anything like that. Here is Eddie Murray, first baseman. Murray on the replay is hitting 350 in 100 at bats, 35 hits and 100 at bats. And 13 of those hits have been extra bases, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 6 homers, 20 runs driven in. First havoc roll of the game, nothing happening. We get a 6-5, switch hitter batting left. That's a strikeout. First strikeout for Blyleven. Much needed strikeout to try to stem the tide and keep the Orioles down to just 1 run. Now it's 2 away for Larry Sheets. Sheets on the replay hitting 213, 2 homers, 6 driven in. He hit 316 real world, so he's definitely not up to snuff yet, but he's only had 47 at bats. He had 469 in real world, so it's a small sample size. 6-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Ripken not being held, so the shortstop's not going to have to hold him, so he will not be affected by the left-handed hitting sheets. So Gagne will keep his 2 E24, full range for Gagne. 2 and a 7, he'll get to it, and 2 and a 7, probably a G2, which it is. It'll be a fielder's choice, assuming there's no error. E24, he's got to avoid 4, 6, 15, and then 17 and 18. And that is a 15, so he did not avoid it. Unfortunately for Gagne, E24 and a 15 is a one-base error. So instead of the inning being over, it will continue on the E6 by Gagne. So Gagne with the spoon gagged himself on that one, and the inning will continue. Not what Blyleven needed. He was trying to get out of the inning. And here comes Ray Knight, third baseman. Ray Knight. Hello, Colin and Ben. Good to see both of you. Ray Knight hitting 296, 4 homers, 11 driven in. Blyleven trying to get out of the inning. Minimal damage. 1-6, and he does. Ground ball short. It's going to end the inning. But the home run from Jim Dwyer puts the Orioles on the board. And at the end of half an inning of play from Minnesota, it is the Orioles 1 and the Twins coming to bat. And we'll get the full stat replay on Scott McGregor now that he is up to pitch. He is 1 and 4 on the replay. ERA of 6.84. So the Twins looking to tee off on him quite a bit. 26 innings pitched, 28 hits, 12 walks, and 18 strikeouts. So Dan Gladden will lead things off, the left fielder. He's hitting 250, 2 homers, and 7 driven in. It's a 2-3 against the left-hander. That's a pop-up to second base. And Wiggins will secure it for the first out of the inning. Brings up Lombardozzi, second baseman. Lombardozzi hitting 269, 2 homers, 9 driven in. 2-5, and that is a ground ball to Ray Knight at third. So 2 up and 2 down. Twins not, at least early on, not taking advantage of McGregor. Well, here's Kirby Puckett. He is the thumbnail boy, so see if that gives him any good karma. Puckett is hitting 308, 2 homers, 8 driven in. Whoop, that white die did not make it through, so we're going to roll again. It stuck to my hand for some reason. All right, 110, left-handed, and that's a ballpark blast. That's good news. That's an 11, and that's a 2. So Kirby Puckett comes right through. 110 is the ballpark blast. Home runs are 1 to 11, and that's a 2. So Kirby Puckett hits his 3rd home run of the season, and it ties the ball game at 1 apiece. Home run number 3 for Puckett, RBI number 9, and the Twins and Orioles are tied at a run apiece on solo home runs. That'll bring up the G-man, Gary Gaetti. He is hitting 272, 4 homers, 19 driven in. So 4-11, and that's a fly ball right field X. That is Simmons. He's a 4 E16, so obviously not very fleet of foot in the outfield. 4 and a 6 is going to be probably a double. It's going to be at least a hit. I know it's going to be a hit. It might be a double. Probably will be. 4 and a 6. No, actually it's going to be a single. 4 and a 6 is a single. His error range, though, is an E16, so he's got, well, not too bad. 4, 6, 12, 13, and 17. And that's an 11, so he escapes an error, but it will be a base hit. 2-out single for Gary Gaetti. Gaetti will be held, but he's not going to try anything. Not with Kent Hrbek coming up. Now lefty on lefty McGregor against Hrbek. Hrbek on the replay hitting 319, 8 homers, 22 driven in. 6-9, and that is a line out to first. Murray snags it, and the inning's over. But the Twins tie it on the Puckett home run. And at the end of 1, we got no score. I'm sorry, we got 1-1. What am I talking about? 1-1 after 1. I'm so used to saying no score for whatever reason. I don't know why. So top of the second we go, and Terry Kennedy, the catcher, hitting 253, 8 homers, 18 driven in. 6-10, and that's a ball. I'm sorry, I was looking at 5-10. 6-10 is a ground ball third base X. That's Gaetti. He's a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. We're looking at E12. And the numbers to avoid on E12 for a third baseman. He has to avoid 12 and 16. That's basically all he's got to do. And he does. So it's a good play for Gaetti. Takes care of the slow-moving Kennedy. 1 away. And that'll send up Nelson Simmons. Simmons on the replay is hitting .317, 3 homers, 10 driven in. His time with the Orioles is almost done because he's almost out of at-bats. This is his 42nd at-bat. He only had 49 real world. 4-9, and that is a ground ball to second. Lombardozzi will take care of it. 2 down for Mr. Gerhardt. Ken Gerhardt, number 9 hitter. Center fielder. Lynn still a little banged up. He's on the roster, but he is available to pinch hit, but he's not starting for whatever reason. So here's Gerhardt, possibly with the turf. He could be having some knee issues or something. I don't know. 229, 5 homers, 11 driven in for Gerhardt. 110, and that's a ground ball to short. Gagne will make the play. Look at that, 5-3, 4-3, 6-3. Can't get much easier than that if you're Blyleven. And we go to the bottom of the second, still tied at 1. And it'll be Bernansky, Laudner, and Gagne due up for the Twins. Bruno on the replay is hitting .289, 3 homers, 10 driven in. 2-7, and that's a strikeout. Boy, 2-8 would have been a home run. 2-7, though, is a strikeout. Game of inches. So, first strikeout for McGregor, and it came at a good time, obviously, to avoid that home run, for sure. Hello, Justin. Good to see you. Here is Laudner. Laudner on the replay hitting .250. Just 16 at bats. He's 4 out of 16, but 2 of those 4 hits have been home runs. And he also has 6 runs batted in. So he's been productive. 1-7, but not this time. He strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for McGregor. And here comes Greg Gagne, shortstop. Gagne on the replay hitting .329, 2 homers, 10 driven in 70 at bats. 3-3 against the lefty. Ground ball to Ray Knight at third, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for McGregor. So we go to the third, still tied at a run apiece from the Metrodome here on this May the 6th. Next game will be from Comiskey Park in Chicago, where it'll be the Yankees and the White Sox. That'll be the next game in the Strat-O-Matic replay for this date of May the 6th. All right, Orioles now have reached back to the top of the order for Alan Wiggins. And Wiggins on the on this first at bat grounded to second. 2-7, and he's going to ground to third. So this time Gaetti puts him away, and his offensive woes continue to show up. And here's Jim Dwyer. He homered his first time up for the run of the game for the Orioles, his 5th of the season for Dwyer. It was actually off of Blyleven's card. That's a 4-5, and this is a fly to center, and that's going to be handled by Puckett, no problem. Can of corn, 2 down for Cal Ripken. Ripken walked his first chance. 2-6, and he's going to ground it to short, and that's going to be an easy inning again for Blyleven. 3 up and 3 down. Go to the bottom of the third, still 1-1. And that brings up Scott McGregor to face the only player not to bat yet in the game, starter anyway, Tom Nieto, the catcher. Nieto on the replay, hitting .235. He hit 200 real world. No homers, 2 driven in. He's had 51 at bats. He had 105 total, so he's about halfway done his season. 6-8 against the right-hander is a single to left field. Base hit for Tom Nieto. He will not be held, obviously. Does not run well at all. But he's aboard, and that brings up Dan Gladden. Gladden, not a very good bunter, a C bunter. You'd think he'd be a better bunter, but he's not, so he will swing away. 5-6, and he's going to strike out. So his inability to bunt cost him on that one. So that would have been a nice time to do a sacrifice, but now Lombardozzi's an A bunter, but there's already one out, so it's kind of pointless to bunt with one out unless you're a pitcher. So here's Lombardozzi. 6-11, and that's a ground ball first base X. That's Eddie Murray. Murray is a 2E10. He was not holding the runner, so he keeps his full 2E10. It could be a double play. 2 and a 16, that's a G1, so unless there's an error, it will be a double play. He's an E10, so he's got to avoid 11, 15, 3, and 18. And that is a 15. He could not avoid it. How about that? He was so quick to turn the double play. So quick to turn the double play, he found the error. So instead of any double play, it's an E1. And McGregor is certainly not happy about that. But now each team has committed an error. But this one might hurt a little more, because that would have ended the inning for sure. And now he's got to face Kirby Puckett, who homered off of him last time. So McGregor's got to bear down and try to pick up his teammate. 5-6, he strikes out Puckett. That certainly helps. 2 down. Not out of the woods yet. Gary Gaede's a tough customer. He singled his last time up. Clutch situation. He gains a hit on 1-4 and 3-9. So he gains 2 hits in the clutch. That's a 4-4. That's a catcher X. It's Kennedy. He's a 4E4. 4 and a 20. That should be fine. When you roll a 20, that's almost guaranteed to make a good play. 4 and a 20 is a G2, which is, in this case, he just throw it to first. He wouldn't throw it to second. That wouldn't be realistic for the third out. So now error chance for Kennedy. He's an E4. So he's got to avoid 16, 17, and 18. Those are the 3 numbers to avoid, the top 3 in the deck. And he barely does with a 14. But it's a good play for Kennedy. Now it's going to go 2-3, and that's going to end the inning. So McGregor pitches around the error by Murray and gets out of it. We go to the 4th, still tied at a run apiece, and it's actually a lower scoring game than I thought, considering we were playing in the Metrodome and considering both pitchers enter the game with ERAs over 6. But there's still 6 innings to go, and you never know when the explosion's coming. It could be at any time. That's correct, Justin. Situation. Pay homage to Mr. Guterman with the situation. He's happy with his new dog, and he's ecstatic about that, so I'm very happy for him. That should help his mental health a little bit, help his depression, whatever little depression he was suffering through. Maybe that will pick up his spirits. Here is Eddie Murray. 1-6 for Murray, and that's a 1 for a triple. Anything else is a single. So Eddie Murray, leadoff single. And that breaks up a streak of 7 in a row that had been retired by Blyleven. Murray's not going to be held. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Larry Sheets. 3-9 for Sheets, and that's a walk. So single and a walk, and now all of a sudden Blyleven's in trouble. Second walk issued by Blyleven. Runners at first and second, nobody out. For Ray Knight, again, could have been a bunt situation, but he's a D bunter, so we're not even touching that. We're just going to hope he avoids a double play. 2-6, and he does not. Ground ball shortstop A. It's a 6-4-3 double play. For 2 quick outs, Murray does take third, but now there are 2 outs, and it's going to be up to Terry Kennedy in a clutch situation to get him home. So Kennedy in the clutch against right-handers. He loses a hit on 2-7. Everything else he is neutral on. And that's a 1-5, and he grounds to second. That's going to end the inning. So Blyleven pitches out of it. Pitcher best friend, the double play certainly was the mainstay in that one. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-1. Herbeck will lead off the inning against Mr. McGregor. Let's see, McGregor can go 5 innings. Blyleven can go 7 before they tire. So that's something to keep an eye on. McGregor to Herbeck. Herbeck lined it to Murray his first time up. 4-4. This is another catcher X for Kennedy. He's a 4. 4 and a 16 for a catcher. 4 and a 16 is a P/F, but nobody's on base, so it'll be a foul out as long as there's no error. He's in 4, so again, he has to avoid the top 3, 16, 17, and 18. And we get a Suadice, so we re-roll that. And he does avoid that, so it will be a foul out to Kennedy. Herbeck fouls out to Kennedy for out number 1. And that brings up Bruno. Bernansky struck out his first chance. And I'm going to re-roll everything because that one die gets, I don't know why they get stuck in that tower. I don't know what's causing that. So, but they got to all come through at the same time. Now that's my new rule. 2-4. 2-4s pop out to first because it's annoying when they don't all come through at one time. I like to be consistent and have everything in front of me. So he pops out to Murray for out number 2. And that'll send it to Laudner. Struck out his first chance. 2-8, and this time he's going to draw a base on balls. And for McGregor, that's his first walk of the game. Laudner, of course, will not be held, and Greg Gagne steps to the plate. Four, 5, and that's a fly to right. Simmons puts it away, and we played 4, and the score is still 1-1. Wouldn't have thought that when the game started, but kind of nice to have a close game, and I prefer the lower scoring games, but I just don't like it when one team gets, a 7 or 8 run lead. It kind of takes the fun out of it. But go by what the dice say. All right, here's Nelson Simmons to lead it off. Yeah, I have a virgin tray there, Ben. And I like that other channel where you have all kinds of mess going on in there. It's almost like Demolition Derby in there. 2-10. That's ground ball to third, 1 away. But to each their own. That's why I say play the game you want to play it the way you want to play it. If he wants to play it that way, more power to him. If that's what makes him happy, go for it. Here's Gerhardt. 1-10. Ground ball to short. Gagne is there. 2 up and 2 down. And that'll send up the top of the order Wiggins. He's 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs. 4-9, switch hitter batting left. That's a ballpark blast. It's 1-11. That is there, but he's got weak power, so it would just be a single. No home run, just a single, but Wiggins will be looking to get the lead. He needs a 4, 5, 6, or 12 to get the lead. 4, 5, 6, or 12. 6, he gets the lead. He's an 18, being held as a 16, but then you got the +4, makes it a 20, so it's basically a 1-19. Nieto's T rating is only T2, so they're going to go ahead and throw through. And it's going to be safe. So stolen base for Wiggins. And that's stolen base number 9 on the season for Wiggins. That's the only thing he's been doing well is stealing bases. So he's in scoring position now for Jim Dwyer, and he will be held on second base rather. Try to keep him close so he can't get a big jump on a base hit. 1-6, and that's they might have to worry about 1-2 is a home run, but that's a 5. So it's a deep fly ball to right field to end the inning. Bernansky puts it away, and Blyleven just escapes a potential second long ball. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 1-1 as our score. And this will be the fatigue inning for McGregor. So we got to keep an eye on what he gives up here because 5 is his fatigue. Now the Orioles did make one addition to their bullpen. Ken Dixon had been starting, but in this period of time, he's in the bullpen. So Ken Dixon will give him some added freshness to the arms in the bullpen if they need it, so they won't wear out their bullpen guys. But I did look it up. He does relieve in this little section of the season, so he will be in the bullpen to relieve. All right, McGregor facing Nieto. That's a 2-6, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for McGregor. He's looking like the 1982 or 83 version of McGregor versus the 87 version. Here is Gladden for 9, and that's a single to center for Gladden. If he's going to try for the lead, 4, 5, or 6 will get him the lead. Cannot get the lead, so he holds. And that'll bring up Lombardozzi. Yes, JC, the other channels like that, like the other white meat. That's kind of, the pun I'm playing on that. 6-6, and that is a split chance. One's a single, and the other line's to short. So it's a liner to Ripken for out number 2. And it's that other channel's birthday today, so if you get a chance, tell him happy birthday. Mr. Section 518, May 18th. You can send him your best wishes. McGregor to Puckett. 6-3. It's a ground ball pitcher X. McGregor is a 1 E17, so we know he's going to get to it. Just the E17 part. And that is a 7. E17 and a 7. E17, and there is no 7, so it's good play. McGregor will get to it, throw to first to end the inning. So through 5 innings, and he keeps pretty much full endurance, just gave up 1 hit. That was it. So he's good to go for the 6th. And speaking of the 6th, we will start the 6th. Here in the top of the 6th with Blyleven. And Blyleven will be facing the heart of the order, Ripken, Murray, and Sheets for the Orioles. Here in the top of the 6th. Me, I'm not. That fast score is his thing. Now, I tried it. I really didn't care for it that much. That's just kind of his thing. The ticker, I'll leave that to him. That's his deal. All right, here is Cal Ripken. 2-4, and that is a line out to Gagne at short. 1 away. Ripken is retired. Here's Eddie Murray. He's 1 for 2. .35 for Murray, and that's a walk. And for Blyleven, that is the 3rd walk that he has issued. Murray will not be held. Here's Larry Sheets. Sheets. 4-7 left-handed is another walk. That's walk number 4. And all of a sudden, Blyleven in trouble again. Most of it his own doing. And here's Ray Knight, who hit into the double play his last time up. Knight's trying to avoid it this time. Double play here would end the inning. Just what Blyleven would be looking for. 4-7 is a ground ball second base X. It's possible they could get it. Nobody was being held, so Lombardozzi is a 2E18, possible double play chance. 2-2, though, that's not going to cut it. 2-2. 2-2 is going to be a single. It's going to load the bases. Now we're checking for an error. So a tough roll there on the D20. Lombardozzi is an E18. So he has to avoid 13, 3, and 18. And he does, but now the bases are loaded with only 1 out. Could have been a double play. Could have been a contender. Could have been a double play, but not to be. Here's Terry Kennedy. He's certainly a double play candidate, and the Twins will play back for the double play. 4-7, and that's another walk. He's going to walk in a run, does Blyleven. His 5th walk. So control problems are getting to him. And perhaps the fact that that ball wasn't fielded didn't help his cause. He thought Lombardozzi should have got to that, but that's water on the bridge. You got to pitch around that if you're a pro. So here's Nelson Simmons now. 2-1 Orioles, and they're looking for more. Bases loaded, 1 out. Infield still searching that double play. 6-4, and that's a catcher X. That's Nieto. He's a 2-E1. 2 and a 4. Boy, that's a bad roll for a catcher. 2 and a 4 is a W/G. He is an E1. I think I said it was. Yeah, E1. So the only error is a 17. So there's no error there, but it's a W/G. W/G with runners on base. The pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. So there you go. Wild pitch is going to bring them a run. Make it 3-1 Orioles, and it takes the double play out of the equation as well. So it's double whammy on that one. They wanted no whammies, and he got a double whammy. Now the infield is going to have to come in. They can't afford to give up any cheap runs. So the infield is now in for Simmons. 4-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're going to try it again with Lombardozzi. He's a 2. And that's a 1. Boy, how can you get these bad rolls like this? They're just snake bitten. 2 and a 1's a single 1 star. So we know Knight's going to score. Going to third is Kennedy. And now we're checking for an error to make sure there's no error. He's an E18. We saw last time that was 13, 3, and 18. And no error on the play, but it's going to be an RBI single for Nelson Simmons. And the Orioles lead it 4-1. Runners on the corner, still only 1 out. And that'll end up Gerhardt. Infield still looking for that elusive double play. And the bullpen's loosening for the Twins, as well as the Colonel, Joe Klink, the left-hander, is loosening in the bullpen. 3-7 for Gerhardt, and that's a ballpark blast. 1-11, it's gone. And I believe Blyleven's gone as well. 3-7, ballpark blast, 1-11, that's an 8, it's gone. Ken Gerhardt, a 3-run home run. And the Orioles have just made this a laugher. Doesn't mean the Twins can't come back, but right now it's a laugher. A 3-run bomb for Gerhardt. As Gerhardt is circling the bases, and as he's doing that, Tom Kelly's already on his way to the mound to take the ball away from Blyleven, who gave up another dinger. So the call to the bullpen has been made. And we will see the Colonel, Joe Klink. That is home run number 5 for Gerhardt, by the way. And that makes it now a 7-1 ball game. 6 runs in the inning. Still only 1 out. And we got Wiggins and Dwyer coming up, and they will be facing Colonel Klink, Joe Klink. Close the book on Blyleven, and I'm sure the Twins are very happy to do so. And we'll get his numbers from the Strat computer so that they're accurate without me having to do the math manually. Blyleven, 5 1/3. It's going to give up 6 hits and 7 runs. Certainly not going to help his ERA. All were earned. 5 walks and a strikeout. So the 5 walks definitely played a part in that. No question about it. But now Klink will be coming on to try to bring some semblance of order to the Twins pitching staff. Klink on the replay, checks in. 0-0 with no saves, a 3.60 ERA, 5 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. And he is facing Alan Wiggins, who is 1 for 3. 1-9, and that's a ground ball to short. Gagne is there, 2 down. And that'll bring up Jim Dwyer. He is the 9th man to bat in the inning. 2-11, and that's a pop out to first baseman Herbeck to end the inning, but a 6-pack in the 6th inning for the Orioles. And they take and that's going to be it for Klink. He came in just to get those couple outs, so he is done. He goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up nothing. But they will bring in probably Keith Atherton, I imagine. I think he's the guy that's the most rested that would come in for the Twins to try to give him some innings. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 7-1, favor of the O's. And the Twins have an uphill battle against the Orioles. That's a 6-7, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X right to Ripken. He's a 2 2 and a 7. That's good enough to get there. E20, and another 7. So let's see what that brings about. Shortstop, E20, and there is no 7, so it's good play. A 2 and a 7, just to be technical, is a G2, but nobody's on base, so it doesn't matter. It's a 6-3 ground out for out number 1. So McGregor with a 6-run lead now can pitch with full confidence. Just get the Twins to put the ball in play. Trust his fielders behind him. Herbeck 1-3 is a ballpark single check. 1-16. That will do it. A base hit. Homer Dome helps with the base hit right there. And that'll send up Tom Brunansky. Bruno. He's 0 for 2 against McGregor. 2-5 against the left-hander. Ground ball shortstop B, fielder's choice, 6-4. At least it wasn't a double play. But now there are 2 outs with Brunansky at first, and he's not going anywhere. Down 7-1. Here's Laudner. 3-9 for Laudner. Ground ball to short again. That's going to end the inning. So we completed 6 here in the Metrodome, and it's the Orioles 7, the Twins 1. And McGregor can still go a little further if they need him to. Well, they might turn it over to Ken Dixon just to give him some work out of the bullpen with a big lead where there's not much pressure involved, so they may do that. For the Twins, it looks like Keith Atherton, but I will verify to make sure he's the most rested and hasn't pitched in a while. Well, actually, 150%. Actually, it looks like maybe instead of Atherton, it will not be Atherton. It will actually be Juan Berenguer. He needs the work. So Juan Berenguer will be coming in to pitch, and he can go 3 innings if need be. He's got that fatigue level. So Berenguer, and he is 0-0 with a save, 5.17 earned run average, 16 innings pitched, 19 hits, 5 walks, and 20 strikeouts. And he will be facing Cal Ripken to start the top of the 7th as the Orioles sent 9 to the plate in the previous inning. Berenguer to Ripken, 3-5, and that is a ground ball to Gagne at short. 1 away. And that will send us to Eddie Murray. He has walked, struck out, and singled. 2-7, right-handed, is another walk. So the Twins have issued a lot of base on balls in this ball game. That is walk number 6 already that they've issued between Berenguer and Blyleven. Blyleven had 5. Berenguer just gets his first one right here. Here's Larry Sheets. 1-7 for Sheets. That's a ballpark blast. 1-11. It's gone. Larry Sheets. Look at it again. 1-7 ballpark blast. 1-11. It's gone. Larry Sheets, his 3rd home run of the season. RBI 7 and 8. And the Orioles now lead it 9-1. Did not expect a blowout. If anything, I was expecting the Twins to blow the Orioles out. I didn't expect this the other way around, but that's why you roll the dice. So home run for Larry Sheets. So Berenguer maybe not the answer. Here's Knight. 2-7 for Knight. He grounds it to Gaetti for out number 2 for Terry Kennedy. It's a 4-5, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in on the 2-run home run, courtesy of Larry Sheets. We are headed to the 7th inning stretch with the score Baltimore 9, Minnesota 1. Who'd have thunk that? Didn't really expect that one at all. But we are at the 7th inning stretch, and as usual, that means take me out to the ball game. So stand and stretch, and we'll get going with Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Okay, 7th inning stretch is in the books. Hello, Philip. Good to see you. There will be a defensive replacement for the Orioles, as Nelson Simmons is a 4E16 fielder. So with the lead, they're going to play for better defense, and that means John T-Bone Shelby will be coming in to play right field. He's a 2E6 -2, much better than the Nelson Simmons factor. So Shelby will take over in right field. He'll actually lead off the top of the 8th. But with a 9-1 lead, I don't really think you're worried about that. So Shelby, right field in the 7th. So we will get a new pitcher for the Orioles as well. Ken Dixon making his first relief appearance of the season. As like I said, he's in this little section where he does do relief pitching. So Ken Dixon is going to be coming on. McGregor, a solid 6 innings, just giving up the 1 run. Let's go to the Strat computer and get his full numbers, and then make the moves as well. So the move is Shelby into right field. Where are you? There you are. Shelby goes into right field. And Ken Dixon comes in to pitch. So the full numbers on McGregor, certainly going to help his cause. He was 1-4 coming in. He should improve to 2-4 now. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits and a run, which was the home run off the bat of Puckett. 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. So certainly an impressive outing, to say the least. Cal Ripken Sr.'s got to be happy about that kind of an outing out of McGregor. So bottom of the 7th we go. Ken Dixon enters the game 1-2, 5.996 ERA. These are all starts he had. This is his first relief appearance. So 1-2, 5.96 ERA, 26 innings pitched, 33 hits, 6 walks, 21 strikeouts. He's also given up 8 home runs in 26 innings. So the gopher ball has gotten him, but possibly he is more effective as a reliever than he is a starter, where he doesn't have to face the order 2 or 3 times. So maybe this will be to his benefit. We shall find out. Gagne, the leadoff man. 6-7, and that is a 1-13 single. That's a 3, so it's a base hit for Gagne. Start us off. Gagne with a single. Nieto will be replaced. We are in the 7th inning, so pinch hitting definitely allowed. And they will have Mark Salas coming in hit and stay in the game to catch. Mark Salas will come on, and he will pinch hit here in the 7th. Stay in the game to catch in the 8th. Mark Salas, and we'll get the numbers on Salas. See what he's done on the replay to this point. Salas hitting just 150 and 20 at bats. No homers, 2 driven in. Gagne not being held at first with that score being what it is. Dixon's a 0 hold. Kennedy's a 0 arm, so it is a net 0 on the hold. 4-8, and that's going to be a ballpark blast off of Dixon. 1-11. That's gone. So Ken Dixon is not finding relief work to his liking. Mark Salas, a pinch hit home run for Mark Salas. How do you like that? Pinch hit home run, Mark Salas, his first of the season. It's a 2-run shot. RBI's 3 and 4. Cuts the lead to 9-3. And now Dan Gladden is up. 2-12, and that is a ballpark blast from Gladden. 1-11, it's gone. So back-to-back jacks. The gopher ball is killing Ken Dixon. Another home run from Gladden, his 3rd. RBI's number 8. And now for Dixon, he has given up 10 home runs in 26 innings. And the Oriole bullpen is up in earnest again. They were hoping to give their bullpen some relief by bringing in a fresh arm, but doesn't seem to be working. Tony Arnold, a right-hander, is loosening the pen as we speak. As Ken Dixon is crapping the bed, as they say. Here's Lombardozzi. 6'9", right-hander, struck him out. So comes back and gets a strikeout. That was huge. Stem that tide a little bit. But it is a 9-4 ball game, and here's Puckett. He homered in the first inning. 5-4, and that's a fly ball to left. Put away out there by Sheets, 2 down. So maybe Dixon is settling in now. Here's Gaetti. 6-4, and that's a catcher X. Boy, 6-5 would have been a home run. 6-4 is a catcher X, and that's Kennedy. He's a 4. But nobody's on base, so 4 and a 5 is probably some sort of a pop out. Or foul out, I should say. 4 and a 5 is a P/P, so that's a pop out. And he's an E4, so he just has to avoid the top 3, 16, 17, and 18. And he can't. That's a 17. So even the Dixon can't catch a break even of the fielders. So it's going to be a P/P with an error. So P/P with an error. It says the batter hits a squib out in front of the plate that the catcher can't handle. 1 base error. See, I was thinking P/P should have been a pop-up. You would have thought that anyway. Because it says the batter pops out if there's no error. This is not saying it's a pop-out. This is saying that he squibs it in front of the plate. So it's not a foul pop-out error. It's an actual E2 on a – that's going to put the runner on base. So interesting interpretation there. Keeps the inning going. Second error on the Orioles in the game. And here's Kent Herbeck. Dixon thought he was out of the mess, but not yet. Not so fast, my friend. That's a 3-8 for Herbeck, and he's going to walk, and that's going to keep the inning going. And you wonder how much longer they're going to go with Dixon. We got Tom Brunansky up in a clutch situation. That's a 2-4, and he's going to ground it to short to end the inning. But 3 runs come across on a couple of home runs, and it's 9-4 now. And we go to the top of the 8th. Mark Salas will stay in the game to catch. And we'll stick with Berenguer a little longer, even though he didn't do very well. They will try to get a second inning out of him. Be facing Gerhardt. I'm sorry, be facing Shelby, who came in for defensive purposes for coming in for Simmons. It'll be Shelby, Gerhardt, and Wiggins due up. And this is Shelby's first at bat of the game. So he's hitting .217 in 23 at bats. He only had 32 at bats for the Orioles. This is bat number 24 coming up. He's hitting .217 with a homer and 5 driven in. Real world, he hit .188 with a homer and 3 driven in. So it's not that far off. 4-5, switch hitter is a strikeout. So Shelby out on strikes, and here's Gerhardt. 3-6, and he's going to ground it to short. Gagne is there, so maybe Berenguer can suck it up and give him another inning, save the bullpen a little bit. 2 down for Wiggins. 2-11 for Wiggins, and that's a pop out to second base, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Just what Berenguer needed. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still 9-4. Dixon going to come back out, but he's on a short leash. Orioles don't want to let this one get away. Tony Arnold's still loosening the bullpen. Tim Lautner is the DH, but they're going to call him back for a pinch hitter, a left-handed pinch hitter, and they're going to go with Randy Birdnahan Bush. He will stay in the game to be the designated hitter for the Twins. So Bush will come in. He will pinch hit here in the 8th and stay in the game to play DH. And on the replay, hello, Jimmy Jam. Jimmy Jam, I'm retiring on June 6th from full-time work. I may, somewhere down the road, take a part-time job just to have something to do. But full-time work, yes, I am retiring as of Friday, June 6th as my last day. From Monday through Friday, full-time working. You are correct. You did hear correctly. My plan is to take the summer off, do some things around the yard and the house that need to be done that have been neglected for a while. And then maybe around the holidays, if I feel like getting a part-time job, I may do that. All right, here, I have no number at work, Ben, so there's nothing to retire. All right, here is Randy Bush, and on the replay, he's hitting .246, 2 homers and 9 driven in. 6-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Ripken. He's a 2. 2-20, good to go. E20, and a 12. I think he's okay with that. E20 and a 12 for Ripken. Yep, he's good to go. So Ripken makes the play and retires Randy Bush. 1 away. That'll bring up Gagne. Unless they want to pinch hit for Gagne as well. But he's a .265 hitter, so I think we're going to leave him alone and let him swing away. He is 1 for 3. And he's facing Ken Dixon, so that helps him out too. That's a 4-3 ground ball pitcher X. Ken Dixon, E14. He is a 3 E14. 3-19, he'll get to it. E14 is the question. That's terrible. 17, an E14 and a 17. That's got 2 base error written all over it. E14 and a 17. And there it is right there. I didn't even look at it. I just had that funny feeling when you get a number that high. 17s and 18s are usually 2 base errors. And there you go. So 2 base error on Ken Dixon. And for the Orioles now, that is their 3rd error of the game. They'll bring up the catcher, Mark Salas. Can't pitch it for him. They have no other catchers left, so they got to stick with Salas. 1-5, and that's a single to left field. It's anti-clutch, but there aren't two outs, so the single will stand. It's to left field. Sheets is a +1. Gagney's a 17. I didn't declare, but he wouldn't be held when it's 9-4. I don't believe. So that would make him 1-18, 1-19. But Salas is a 9. There's no way I'm letting him take second on a throw. So we're going to go ahead and throw to the plate. And he's in there anyway. Didn't matter. So it's an RBI single for Mark Salas. Makes it a Dolly Parton 9-5 special. And that'll send up Dan Gladden. Tony Arnold ready to come into this game, but they're going to give Dixon one more chance. 5-9. Struck him out. He's not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. Now he can get out of the inning by getting Lombardozzi. They will not let him face Puckett. If he can't get, this is his last batter one way or the other in this inning. 1-6. He got a ground ball to short to get out of the inning. Now they might, with the inning over, they might go ahead and let him try to finish the game and get a save. But if the runners had gotten on base and the tying run to come to plate was Puckett, they were no way in the world they were going to let him pitch to Puckett. But he got out of the mess. So kudos to him, I guess. We go to the 9th. Dolly Parton style, 9-5. 9 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for the Orioles. 5 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the Twins. Berenguer will come in and pitch his 3rd inning of work, trying to save the Twins bullpen. And Dixon will come in and pitch his 3rd inning of work in the 9th, trying to save the Oriole bullpen. Here's Dwyer. 5-7, and that's a 1-6 single, but that's a 14, so he lines it to Lombardozzi. 1 away. So a line out to second base is 1 away. Here is Cal Ripken. 2-5 for Ripken is a ground ball to 3rd. 2 down. And that'll send up Eddie Murray. So Berenguer, after that little first hiccup with the home run from Sheets, he's actually pitched very well. From that point on, 4-8, he strikes out Murray. So he did very well his last couple of innings. And he's going to end up going 3 innings of relief. Does Berenguer. And we'll go to the Strat computer to get his official numbers on Berenguer so I can make those accurate. Berenguer will end up going 3 innings, give up just the 1 hit, which was the home run. The walk that preceded it produced the 2nd run. And he walked 1, struck out 3. So all in all, not too bad for Berenguer. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and Ken Dixon coming back out. He'll be facing Puckett, Gaetti, and Herbeck, pretty much the heart of the order. And let's move this over here just a touch to make sure the cards don't get cut off. I think you can still see the tray pretty well. So I think we're okay with that now. So it'll be Puckett, Gaetti, and Herbeck. Bottom of the 9th of a 9-5 ball game. Ken Dixon could earn the save, perhaps. I don't know, though. Giving up 4 runs in 2 innings. Usually a part of the save criteria is to pitch effectively, and I don't think he's pitching effectively. Mark Williamson is loosening the bullpen now just in case Dixon falters. 3-9 for Puckett. He flies to center, 1 away. That'll bring up Gary Gaetti. Gaetti. 6-9 on, that's a strikeout with a dot there, but he's not tired. So the strikeout is good. So maybe Dixon just needs to get 1 inning under his belt to establish himself, and that he's done pretty well since then. That run in the 8th was his own doing on an error, not because of his pitching. There's Herbeck, 3-9 for Herbeck. He's going to walk. So they couldn't quite get a 1-2-3 inning. It's not a save situation yet. They would not bring in Williamson unless it turns into a save situation, but it is not a save situation as of yet. Here's Brunansky. For 6, and that's a 1-5 double, 6-20 single. That's a double, but it's 2 stars. So the run does not score. Puts runners at second and third for Randy Bush. Second and third, Randy Bush. And now I do believe it is a save situation. Scores 9-5, 9-6, 9-7, batter 9-8, on deck 9-9. That is a save situation. So that's going to be it for Ken Dixon. He couldn't quite finish the deal. And Mark Williamson will be coming on to try to close it out. Mark Williamson. So let's get the numbers on Williamson and also on Dixon as well. Even though you can't close the book, we can pretty much do all the peripherals, strikeouts, walks, that sort of thing. So Dixon's going to go 2 2/3. And he's going to give up 5 hits. Oops. 2 2/3, 5 hits. To this point, 4 runs, 3 earned. Walked 2, struck out 3. So the only part we can't finish is here. It's 4 3, but it could be more than that if these 2 runs score. So Williamson coming in to try to lock it down. And on the replay, Williamson is 0-1 with 3 saves, a 4.37 earned run average, 23 innings pitched, 24 hits, 3 walks, and 13 strikeouts. Bush, your batter. For 7, and that's a ground ball to short. Ripken's a 2E20. 2 4. I still think he'll get to that because he wasn't holding anybody on. 2 4 is a G3. Good enough. E20, he's got to avoid 4, 15, 16, and 17. And he does, so that's going to do it. There's your ball game. Mark Williamson throws 1 pitch or faces 1 batter and gets a save out of it, his 4th. The win goes to McGregor. He is now 2 4. Loss goes to Blyleven. He is now 3 4. So we close that 4 3 there and zeros here. So grounder to short ends the ball game. Final score, Dolly Parton style, 9-5. And we'll get the totals for the Orioles. 9 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. For the Twins, 5 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Winning pitcher, Scott McGregor, 2 4. Losing pitcher, Blyleven, 3 4. Save, Mark Williamson, his 4th. Home runs in the game. Dwyer, his 5th. Sheets, his 3rd. Gerhardt, his 6th. Those are for the Orioles. For the Twins, Gladden, his 3rd. Puckett, his 3rd. And Salas, his 1st. Player of the game, probably give it to McGregor. 6 innings pitched, 1 run allowed. I think that's for what he was doing before. I think Scott McGregor is going to get our player of the game for that start that he had. So Scotty McGregor is the player of the game. He was 2-7 in real world, 6.64 ERA. He just lowered his ERA to 5.85 with this outing here and matches his win total of 2. So good job there for Scott McGregor as he gets the player of the game. Orioles improved to 12-14. Twins dropped to 10-16. They really need to get it going because they are really faltering in this replay. Next game on the schedule, it'll be game 182. It'll be from Comiskey Park. The New York Yankees taking on the Chicago White Sox. Rick Rhoden against Floyd Bannister. That will probably be tomorrow at some point. So we'll see. Tonight, assuming I get a game on tonight, which I may or may not, if I do, it'll be inside pitch. Inside pitch. Giant 1977 inside pitch game of the day. It'll be the game from April 12th. It'll be the Giants and the Padres from San Diego. if I'm able to get a game on tonight. If not, I will push that to Monday and push this to Tuesday or something like that. I haven't decided yet. We'll figure it out. So, but I do appreciate everybody who spent time with me this Sunday afternoon, spending part of your Sunday afternoon with me and enjoying some Strat-O-Matic. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will catch you all down the road in some form or fashion. Tabby is up here with me, but she's in her little cubby hole, and I'm not going to disturb her. She's on her little bed in there, and she's asleep. So I'm not about to wake the sleeping giant, as they say. I'm going to let her do her thing and enjoy herself. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And if I don't speak to you guys later, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.